Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. It's officially Hump Day. It was one of my favorite commercials with that camel walking around. What day is it? What day is it? What Hump Day? So, anyways, hopefully that brought a smile to you. Action-packed day today. Yesterday, VIPs, we take it on the chin. We get the push with the Seattle first five. That's okay. Second game, I cost us some juice. I really did lean Pittsburgh over the Cubs. We could have got that at around minus 105. Got a little cutesy and took the team total over 3.5, juiced minus 140. And it stung, but it's compounded when you had the Vegas Knights last night minus 130 and lose 5-4 in OT. So basic math very simply says that we lost 2.7 units for the day. So I like to talk about juice and the the minus 130s, the minus 140s. So technically on the day, 0, 2, and 1, but 2.7 units. You're getting close to the 3 unit. Not a good day, obviously. For the week, we're minus 2.6. We won 10 cents on Monday. It is what it is. It's like that Band-Aid. You just rip it off. You woke up this morning, your feet hit the ground. You got a chance. You got a chance to make something happen. 24 hours. It's a gift. That's why they call it the present. Are you going to make a difference? Are you going to get out of your comfort zone? Are you going to make someone smile? All that stuff that I try to do on a daily basis. So without further ado, let's bring him in from the Palm Tree State himself, the one, the only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scott.
Morning, Jeff. So we had basketball games yesterday. We had baseball games yesterday. We had all kind of crazy stuff happening.
It's kind of funny. I sat here talking to you and anyone that wanted to listen that Cleveland and Nets game would not get to the magic number at 10. And it was comical. Brooklyn boxed the wire. Everyone's sitting there waiting to cash their ticket, by the way, at the window. And, of course, backdoor Little Joe, and in come the Cavs for the cover. Talked about it, and I was going back and forth. My friend, good friend and colleague, Tim Murray on VEASAN, started chatting with me last night, and he asked my thoughts on the Clipper game, and I also said it on with Anthony Pepe last night with Dan Lifshatz of 98.5. We were on the national show last night, asking my opinion on the T-Wolves and the Clippers, and we talked about it at length here. It opened at 2.5, went right to 3. I thought it was the public trendy dog. I mean, you're going to give me the Clippers +3, +3.5 when we know they have a good opportunity not to just cover, but to win that game outright. And of course, it lands on 5, and the T-Wolves, the sharp side, comes running home there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I talked about it a little bit numbers wise, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to get to double digits. I wanted to play it plus to 10, but you play it plus to 9.5. What the hell is the difference? So I'm okay with that play. Baseball wise, yesterday, Jeff, I was 2-1, so another winning day. I am. What does that make it? It's 11-5 now for the start of the season. That's plus 5.5 units now, plus 5.5. Yesterday I won with our favorite Arizona team. They didn't score no damn runs, so we played them under. I think it was 1-1 in the 8th inning. I think the final score is 2-1. I played Bieber yesterday. He pitched well. Got knocked out. I don't know. I think it was the 6th inning or something. Bullpen comes in, makes it 4-4, and then I don't know. Cleveland decides they want to hit a couple home runs. They hit a grand slam, so they went ahead to won that one. I think 10-5 or something.
I tweeted. Actually, someone tweeted, and I made a little haha joke. 37 runs the last 3 days for the Guardians, and I said the Cleveland Browns would be proud.
Yeah, and I lost with Wheeler yesterday in the first 5. I wasn't opposed to that play at all. That was more of a play against McGill, who pitched pretty well yesterday. So I mean, there's nothing you can say. I mean, the guy comes out and throws well, then he throws well. So I was 2-1, and then on to today. I mean, these baseball games. Matchups mean everything, and I put out the Webby Lods last night, and I was looking at this, and I'm going, you got Erod pitching against the Red Sox today. You've got Max Scherzer as a dog today. You've got Clayton Kershaw making his first start of the season today. You've got a lot of interesting matchups and a lot of different things going on. And then I'm sitting here and trying to get into these games, and holy shit, what a board this is. This is tough.
And I want to say this, and this is something that for everyone watching, listening, you really got to grab attention to my statement here. On Monday, we had San Fran first 5, and we lost. Okay. What does San Fran do yesterday against Darvish? Now, Darvish opened up as the favorite. Then there was some sharper, heavier money coming in on San Fran. We were trying to go through the +half run, and they were the favorite, so you would have had to go on to the minus there. They put up a touchdown in the first inning, and they go on to, I think they had 10 runs in the first 5. So you got to turn the blind eye. You got to forget about that, okay? It's just like me. I'm going to say this. The VIP guys at ECSI yesterday had Pirates team total over 3.5. They scored 1 run. I'm not going back to it today. I will guarantee you that team puts up almost a touchdown today. I can guarantee you that against Hendricks, too, who if is on, they're going to score 0 or 1 again. But the fact of the matter is, yesterday is yesterday, okay? Old saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's the present. That's why they call it a gift. So in other words, forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Stay in today. So today's a whole new day. It just because a team was bad yesterday doesn't mean that they're going to be bad today and vice versa. So the mentality, especially in baseball, it's easy, very easy to get caught up in the madness and get up in the morning and tell them, I'll show you today, and just gravitate to the big names. The big names usually equate to big prices and a lot of juice. And as I stated in how we started today, we go 0-2-1 yesterday. but we lost 2.7 units. We lost almost 3 units yesterday. And that was only with a minus 140 and a minus 130, Scott.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say a couple of things here. Baseball is a game where a lot of times you see things and you look at things and you're trying to predict the future. So sometimes you predict the future, but you're a day off. It doesn't mean you were wrong about what your thoughts and ideas were. Good morning, Marty. Just think this way, right? So don't be afraid to go back to the window with the same bet you made before, especially in baseball. And I say that not in a tongue-in-cheek way. I say that in a very real way that it happens a lot, and it depends on why you bet. But it does happen a lot. I mean, if you're betting on a team, like for example, I'm betting 100% against Arizona every time, 100%. So if you're betting against them and then they come out and do something great, okay, well, shit, whatever happens. That doesn't mean you don't go bet against them again the next day. Now, what you gotta figure out is, why did you bet on a team? Why did you bet on them for this reason or that reason? Because if you bet on it to be riding with them in that particular spot and they don't show up that day, that don't mean they ain't going to show up the next day. And the matchup is a little different the next day. So you put your thought process back in line again. It just changes who they have. And how things are going there. So there's a question there about Trevor Story. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll get the answer for you. But one of the things here I think that is very important is don't put yourself into a position where you're pigeonholing yourself against all this stuff. Whoops, wrong side. And then that locks you out of play, because in baseball you need as many plays as you can get. You just need as many as you can get. Well, this is Red Sox, right? There we go. Red Sox. Where's my starting lineups at over here?
I'm going to be on it. Hey, Marty and Scott, I'm going to tell you, I don't think they're going to get that game in. The weather doesn't look good. Just an FYI on
that. Red Sox official lineup. Trevor Story's batting third. So you got Hernandez, Devers, Stories, Martinez, Dahlbeck today.
Going back to that San Diego and San Fran. I'm sorry, Arizona. Excuse me. Houston, Arizona. I had talked that it smelt like a trap, and I should have followed that lead as well. Now, with that being said, I was going in minus the half the first 5. Houston did score 1 run in the top of the 5th to get that home 1-0. So again, you do need some breaks. You do need some timely hitting or a solo homer or whatever it is. One of our losses, that San Fran first 5 on Monday, we had the ball caught at the wall for the game winner in that 5th inning. So, we were 3 feet short. So that's baseball in a nutshell. Pass ball, bunt, base hit, and there's that scratch run, to get it home. So I guess my point, Scotty, was basically you just have to have the mentality every day is a new day.
Well, it is. There are some consistencies that you can follow with, right? That's what we're doing with Arizona right now. I'm following the consistency that they leave their bats in the bat bag every day. So I'm following that consistency. But every day there's a new pitcher on the mound. And when that pitcher's on the mound, that makes matchups different. That his arsenal that he throws every day is going to be different than the one you faced the day before. Velocity will be different. The movement on the ball will be different, and so forth. I'm looking at that Boston game, Jeff, and according to what I'm looking at, I think it should play. So I think that'll be okay. Anyway, that being said, That doesn't mean it won't. I mean, I'm not a weatherman, but I'm just looking at what I see, and it says 5% chance it's going to be rained out. So anyway, looking at today's boards and things, and how do you get into these games? Because it's pretty easy to sit here and go, Washington today plays Atlanta today, and Freed's on the mound, and Atlanta's going to win this game. And, they're minus 210. You want to go pay minus 210? So how do you get into that? Well, I mean, you can start looking at the run line, and then the run line turns into whatever its number is. And then you sit there and go, well, it's the home team, and, I don't know if they're going to cover 1.5. Okay, well, then you try to flip it to a first 5, and then you go, well, first 5, and it's minus 140. That's not a very good odds. And so you sit there and go, okay, I'm not in that game. So you just got to be careful on what you're looking at and how you're going to play these games and where you're going. Now, my number in that particular game, I think my number was 257, and I see it at 210. So there's value if you played it at 210. I don't think there's enough value that I would go out and say I'm going to go play a minus 210 today. But I will tell you this, I really don't like Josiah Gray. I thought I would, but I don't. And the reason that I don't is because he's a walk machine. He puts guys on base. And that's one thing that Washington cannot afford to do. If they want to play and win games, they cannot afford to be bad on the mound. And, Freed pitched his last time out and was not very good. So, and neither was Gray for that matter. Both of them had service. I expect both of them to pitch better today. And if one of them is going to pitch dynamite, it's going to be Freed. So I think Atlanta wins that game without a problem, but I'm not going to go pay 210. So having said that, how I got into some of these games today is by looking at a couple of things. One, Milwaukee scored some runs yesterday. Milwaukee won yesterday, and we had all these bad starts from all these starters in the first week. Okay, well, guess what they're going to come back with? They're going to come back with good starts because these are good pitchers. So I'm going to play Burns today against Baltimore. First 5 innings, minus a half run. I got it at DraftKings because I couldn't find the damn numbers anywhere for a long time. But this is minus 110 there. And I expect Burns to pitch very, very well today. And I expect Mean, who pitched a pretty decent game the last time that he pitched. He pitched he threw a game score 54. He threw a game score 53. I'm sorry. And so that's a fairly decent game. It's about an average game. So he could pitch another average game. He could pitch a below average game here. But I expect Milwaukee to at least scratch off a run or two. And I expect Burns to not get hit hardly at all. I think he's going to do really good today. So I'm on that game. And there's 2 other games that I'm on. And one of them is it's hard to find, but I had to go digging. So I played Houston Valdez minus a half a run in the first 5 innings today at minus 110 against Arizona. But that's not really a play on Valdez as much as it's a play against Merrill Kelly today. Merrill Kelly pitched a pretty good game the first time he went out. He only threw 4 innings. But I expect him to regress today after that start. Not that Valdez is not in a regression spot either. Because he threw really, really, really a great game. But I expect Houston to keep doing what they do. I expect them to score a couple runs, and I don't think Arizona can't score. So I'm going to play it that way. And then the last game that I'm on is I'm going to take Seattle and Robbie Ray today plus 100, and that's against the White Sox and Dallas Keuchel. Now, one of the interesting things in this game, and I'm going to pull up this number. Robbie Ray pitched twice last year against the White Sox. He threw 13.1 innings against the White Sox, Jeff. Would you want to take a guess how many strikeouts he got in those 13 innings?
He was a machine for a while in strikeouts, so he probably averaged almost a strikeout an inning. I'll go 12.
How about 27 strikeouts in 13.1 innings against the White Sox last year? So, and I'm not saying that that's the same thing that happens this year, but there's a history there. That's a history you can bet on. So I'm going to take Robbie Ray, and when you think about what Dallas Keuchel is, he's one of those soft tosser guys that gets up there, and there is nothing he's going to do to blow that's going to scare what Seattle is about. Seattle just has to put the ball in play, and I think that's going to happen. So anytime that you're wagering on baseball games, you kind of want to look at this and say, okay, how many balls are going to be put in play? Well, in this case, I think Seattle's going to put just about every single one of them in play. And I'm not so sure the White Sox are going to be doing that. So that gives Seattle an opportunity. The White Sox used up Liam Hendricks last night. I don't know that means he's not going to pitch today, but he threw 20 in at 25 pitches or something like that. So that puts him on a limited basis for tonight. So that means Seattle's got a pretty good shot at the bullpen too. So I played it full game plus the 100. So I'm on those 3 games today.
It's an interesting
basketball. I didn't like the basketball. San Antonio plus 5.5 is sort of that honey hole. But what bothers me is that New Orleans is playing Ingram and McCollum today. Brandon Ingram, and when those two are on the court, that's a different team. So Ingram's been out, and now he's back.
It's an interesting board. The 2 play-in games, again, that is San Antonio's honey hole, but it is a play-in game. It is technically the playoffs. Charlotte, Atlanta again. Atlanta opened at 4.5, now 5.5. New Orleans, they got the memo. Opened at 5.5, now 5 at Circa. So there was a little overnight money on the Spurs at Circa last night. For the MLB board, a couple Jedi mind tricks, Scotty. We'll go back to opening day where we talked about Cole against Evaldi.
I forgot about that.
Evaldi was minus 170 overnight, and then they flipped the line to 140. And they got the back and forth action. Well, what'd they do this time? They opened it overnight at 125, and the actual number tonight is the 169. Berrios, who couldn't get out of the first inning against Cole today. Just the eye test alone is they're begging for Toronto money. I don't think probably in 1 or 2 hands you'll see all year you can go to the window and get a Toronto team at plus 154, which is just like, eye-opening, but just be careful there. Be careful there. They want the Toronto money.
So I put out a tweet yesterday, or maybe it wasn't in a tweet. Maybe it was in my Webby odds yesterday. I put a couple of handicapping tips in there. Now, number 1, how often have you ever seen an opening number or a line last night? You could have bet it. That Garrett Cole at home was minus 140. So I had to go look. It's only happened one other time. He was minus 130 against the Boston Red Sox. I don't remember what day it was. It was 2 years ago or whatever, and he won the game 3-1. But the point being is that number is the second lowest number that he's ever been at home with the Yankees. He's never been that low. And of course, the anticipation then I knew was going to be, okay, they're going to bet that thing up. Okay, look, they're going to bet on the Yankees. So then today, and I don't know, I'll have to go over to here. Let's see what the numbers look like on pregame. And pregame number says, Yankee game says there's $31,000 bet on the game. 77% of the money is on the Yankees. So that's not too much yet, because there's some baseball games that already have $50,000 and $70,000 bet on them. So I'm thinking that that was just a unique scenario to me. because that just popped off like that. He was in such a spot here where minus 140 or whatever that number was. It's that's awfully low for Garrett Cole at home. And it doesn't matter who he's pitching against. It doesn't matter.
There's some intriguing games, to be honest with you. Obviously, Max Scherzer and Nola is probably the pitching matchup of the day. Again, respect and trust the opening number. They had Nola there minus 125. They've split so far in this series. Yes, Mets won last night. So that's interesting there. It's now at 110. And then San Diego, San Fran, Manaea, and Webb. Great matchup. Let me see. San Fran crushed them yesterday, and who won game one there? Did San Diego won game one? So there's a split there. Red Sox yesterday down 3-0, come all the way back 5-3. Very intriguing matchup, Evaldi versus Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets to pitch against his former team there, so that will be an interesting game there. Oakland, Tampa. Oakland got out early again, and Tampa comes back. McClanahan versus Montas. We talked about Toronto and the Yankees. Scotty talked about Ray and Keuchel. I had said earlier during the year I'm going to be in a fade mode on Ray initially, but it is a great matchup for them. I think today he did open up minus 115. Now Keuchel is minus 118. McKenzie versus Lodolo. I know zero about Lodolo. I do know that Cincinnati opened up minus 135. The Guardians again have put up 37 runs the last 3 games. Next game, I feel bad for Paddock here. I really do. He gets traded from the Padres, goes to the Twins. He gets his debut against the Dodgers. Of all teams, number one, number two, and the fact that he's facing a National League team that has seen him. And you would have thought Minnesota would have found a way to get him in this weekend or pass on the Dodgers. Give them a fair shake here. Dodgers wake up yesterday, and now Kershaw minus 180 down to 171 there. Houston, Arizona, we've talked enough about it. If you're going to keep following the trend, do it. I should have stayed on it yesterday. I'll probably be with Scott with the minus half run here. If that's a 340 start. And at 7:05, Burns and Means and all the fantasy players are cursing right now. Burns looked like, you know what, opening day. Means is a guy that had a no-hitter last year, is a good pitcher. But you might think Milwaukee might have finally woken up a little. Again, I'd be looking at the Brewers' first 5 there as well. And, there's some day games, there's some night games. So keep an eye on our timelines there for all that action. In hockey, there's really 3 games and no numbers that you could really dive into. Maybe a Rangers puck line. They opened at minus 200, now 193. Nothing on Montreal, Columbus, and really nothing on Los Angeles and Colorado. I will be back at 1 o'clock live with Andrew McGinnis from Wager Talk and McGinnis Picks, as we will do our weekly cross the border there. And Scotty, any closing thoughts?
A couple things. One, I think some point in time today, I'll get the opportunity to open up the Discord channel. So we'll see what that looks like today. So let's see how that goes. And then number 2, I think that in terms of just my thoughts on some of these games, I didn't bet them, but I like Boston over Detroit. I think that Evaldi he's faced Detroit. He's done pretty well against Detroit. Obviously, Rodriguez has never faced the Red Sox. So, and then the other one is Sean Manaea, right? So he pitched really great for his debut with San Diego. But remember that he pitched in Oakland, and Oakland has a crosstown rival in San Francisco. So they play each other every year. So this is not like something that he hasn't done before, and it's not like something they haven't seen before. I think that there's no edge for Mania as not being seen by this team. Whereas the time before he pitched against Arizona, of course Arizona's not hitting anybody, but they haven't seen him, so that gets that picture, that edge, at least for the first time through. And he's not going to have that edge today, and he pitched really great the last time out, so that means you really want to go against him today. So that I would lean San Francisco there. So anyway, just food for thought.
Yeah, for myself, today's a new day. Some days you're the dog, some days you're the fire hydrant. Just looking at yesterday's games, we had the 1-0 lead with Seattle. White Sox tied it up, and then once you go scoreless at the top of the fifth, you're just holding on to, make sure you don't give up that run, which they didn't. If we stuck with the full game, we would have lost. So the push, we were grateful there. Again, swing and miss, as I put up on the timeline with the Pirates team total yesterday. And of course, overtime, it's anyone's game. The Knights gave up 3 goals quickly in the second period, down 4-2, did tie 4-4 late at the 19-minute mark. And then, of course, overtime, it's a coin flip, and we were on the wrong side of the coin flip. So today,
do you want any information on Nick Lodolo?
Yeah, let's have some Lodolo information.
So Lodolo is a first-round draft pick. He pitched at TCU, and TCU is a great baseball school.
I watched them versus Texas.
He's a great pitcher. He's a lefty, pretty tall lefty, throws really hard, had a great spring training. I think that his number was 9 strikeouts to 1 walk in spring training. So he made the Red staff, and he's fairly new to the game, new to the big leagues. I think he was drafted maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So he hasn't come up through all of the minor leagues. They skipped him or jumped him right up through here a little bit. So we'll see how he does today. But I'm going to say that a lot of times these guys, when they jump out here like this, they can pitch pretty well. Or, what tends to happen with these guys, and I've seen it a million times, is they get out there and they're all nervous and shit. And they walk everybody and they can't throw strikes, and then they get behind and they have one of those kind of games. So just be careful. But he's a good pitcher. So just to throw that out there, Nick Lodolo is a good pitcher, and it's like we talked about in our previews. Cincinnati is not a team that is by any stretch traded away their whole team from last year, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, they're rebuilding," and blah blah blah. Well, listen, they got Nick Lodolo, and they got Hunter Green, and they got some kids that can hit. They got the National League Rookie of the Year, and they still got Votto there. So don't count this Cincinnati Reds team out. I'm not saying go to the window and bet Lodolo today, but Lodelo's probably going to be a better pitcher than Tristan McKenzie on the mound.
And they opened them up minus 135 last night, now at 128. That is a 12:30 start. Again, there's some early action today. Washington, Atlanta's at 12:20. The Cubbies and the Pirates 12:05.
I do like the Pirates today too, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry. You were talking about it. I'm like, I do like the Pirates today. I don't like Hendricks today. I don't like him to back that up today, and his history against the Pirates isn't that great. So I like the Pirates, and the guy pitching for the Pirates is a former Ray pitcher.
Max and Nola at 105, Manaya and Webb at 345, Evaldi Rodriguez 110.
Yeah, a lot of day games, so that means a lot of travel tonight.
Yeah, I mean McKenzie, Lodolo 1235, Kershaw, Paddock 110, Kansas City, St. Louis, Cranky Wainwright has
rained
been
out.
postponed. And then Valdez, Arizona is at 340. So plenty of action. Any questions, comments, concerns? You can hit me up at EC Sports Invest or at Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. Scotty is going to try to debut potentially. There's no, timestamp date or whatever, to get the Discord channel open. If you received a link from Scotty, get your butts in there, ask some questions, just start maneuvering around. Scotty's got a ton of information in there already. I personally don't. I will be in there soon. Secondly, if you want to be a part of the Discord channel, the free part, you can DM myself or DM Scotty or send us an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. And Scotty will sneak you in there just before we start charging $10 a month just for the Discord. Now, the smart move is to be a part of the VIP experience. Okay? To be a part of the ECSI VIP experience, text and email. Retail is $375 a month. And that's the way it's been since day one, 7.5 years ago. We are giving back. I will repeat, we are giving back. For $2 a day or $59.99 a month, every 30 days, your credit card, debit card gets hit for $60. It's $2 a day. You will get the ECSI VIP experience, all my releases sent to your cell phone via text and emailed, and the Discord channel for just $2 a day. That's it. And we can't give back any more than that. That doesn't even pay the light bill. Never mind all the websites that I pay for and vice versa. When I say I make 18 cents an hour, I make 18 cents an hour. And Scotty's probably at 22 cents an hour. So we're here to give back. We're here to build a community that wants all the same things that we do. We want to educate and entertain a little. We're more on the educational part. We'll crack a joke once in a while. But other than that, 1 p.m., the midday market report as we cross the border with Andrew McGinnis and McGinnis Picks at 4:30. Myself and Scotty will be back for the closing bell. Other than that, we want everyone to invest and wager responsibly. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We'd like to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed day. Cash some tickets, have some fun, and we'll see you back in a few hours.